I never believed my grandmother's superstitions, nor her warnings about the old abandoned mill at the end of the road. But here I am, with bated breath and heart pounding so hard I could swear even the night wind itself hears it. "Don't go near the mill when the sky cries," he used to say in a trembling voice that now echoes in my mind. If only he had listened. The rain pounded the mill roof like a symphony of drums, each drop echoing with the echo of unheeded warnings. The darkness was almost palpable, and only the flickering light of our phones illuminated the path ahead. "Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of," Marcos said, his voice full of a confidence none of us really felt. But fear is contagious, and soon, our nervous banter turned to silence. We moved forward, the floor creaking under our feet, and the smell of mold and damp earth clung to our throats. Each room explored was a reminder that this place had been abandoned for a reason. Then, we heard it, a barely audible whisper, a plea, a warning, something we couldn't understand, but felt in our bones. "Did you hear that?" I asked, stopping short. The others nodded, their eyes searching the darkness. That's when we saw it, down the hall, a shadow moving independently of any light source. It wasn't possible, but there it was, sliding down the walls, taking shape, and with it, the air grew colder, heavier. We didn't say a word, but we all thought the same thing: we should have listened to my grandmother. The shadow vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving us to wonder if what we had seen was real or a figment of our collective imagination. "This is crazy," Laura muttered, her voice shaking more than the old wooden beams around us. "We should go." But something kept us there, an invisible force that seemed to pull our souls into the bowels of the mill. We decided to move on, moving deeper into what seemed to be the heart of the building. The old machines, covered in rust and cobwebs, watched us as silent witnesses of a better forgotten past. Then, amidst the rumbling of the storm, a distinct sound chilled our blood, the screeching of metal against metal, as if one of the machines came to life. We turned toward the noise, and there, amidst the gloom, a hunched figure moved with difficulty. It wasn't possible, the mill had been abandoned for decades. "Who's there?" shouted Marcos, his quivering flashlight illuminating every nook and cranny in search of answers. The figure stopped, and a sepulchral silence fell over us. Only the sound of our own heartbeats broke the stillness. Then, the figure straightened, and what we saw was not human. The figure straightened and, in the flickering light, revealed its true form. It was not a creature of flesh and blood, but an amalgam of lost objects, rusted tools and fragments of memories that seemed to take on a life of their own. "They can't leave," he said in a voice that echoed all the voices that had once echoed in that place. "They are part of this mill now." We tried to run, but our movements were slow, as if the air had become a thick substance. The figure was approaching, and with each step, the machines around us began to move, their gears turning with a forgotten purpose. "It's the curse," Laura whispered, "it's making us part of it." But then, the light of a flash of lightning illuminated the room, and in that instant of clarity, I saw something that gave me hope. An ancient switch on the wall, covered in dust and cobwebs. With all my might, I lunged toward it and pulled it down. The mill stopped, the machines fell silent, and the figure crumbled into a heap of inanimate objects. The curse was broken, or so we thought. As we left the mill, the rain had stopped and dawn was peeking over the horizon. But when I looked back, for a moment, I could have sworn I saw the silhouette of my grandmother, watching us from the highest window, making sure the lesson was not forgotten.